welcome to my channel, The Petty Peaches. So, before I get into today's video, I do want to preface it by saying I love animals. I wanted to be a veterinarian growing up and even still dog sit from time to time. So, with animals and being in that industry, there is a level of risk. You're dealing with animals, and it's not that there's a time that you are 100% going to get bitten or something bad might happen, but there is always that level of risk, right? If you pet a dog, you might say, oh, are they friendly, right? Oh, is he good with kids? Or, there is a level of risk that I think that a lot of people do kind of understand in that industry. But that being said, I still think all of that is put on the owner. Like, if your dog is something that it attacks, or it's triggered by things, or you don't know how your dog's going to react in a situation, I say just don't put them in that situation. Or if they have to be in that special situation, be right by their side, try to calm them down, and do everything you can to make sure it's just de-escalated from the very beginning. So let's get into it, shall we? So I was scrolling on TikTok when I saw Christina.Wall's story. That is her TikTok handle, and it will be on the bottom right of all of her videos. So you'll be able to see that. So she's an experienced dog photographer. While doing her job, she was attacked by her client's dog, which is a cane Corso, a fully adult male cane Corso. So if you're not familiar with this breed, one, they are massive. They're huge. And just a fact about their name is that their name actually translates to bodyguard dog. So they have always been known as just like massive dogs. And yeah, so they are highly intelligent, dominant and protective dogs. They really, really, really need to be trained to prevent them from jumping on people, playing too roughly, or yanking on their handler. Keyword training, like they must be trained. And if you have a highly intelligent animal, even a highly intelligent person near you, or your kid that's highly intelligent, if you don't constantly stimulate them, or in a dog's case, train them, take them out, play with them a lot, they're just going to be destructive. And it's even worse if you're not training them really well, because they have so much weight, and this is like 110 pounds of just straight muscle. So they can be challenging to train, and they're definitely not a first time owner type of dog. So they require a lot of training, enrichment, and strength to handle them. Some more facts is a male cane Corso typically weighs around 99 to 110 pounds, and the females are around 85 to 99 pounds. I'm assuming that is going to be basically all muscle, a tank coming at you. For size comparison, I am going to use a photo of YouTuber Jason Corey. His dog is not involved in this, and Jason is not involved in this at all, but I thought that it would be really good to see a cane Corso just compared to a man, or just compared to a human, an adult human. And he just go check out his channel if you want to see more about cane Corsos, everything like that. And if anything, he's just a great example of, a highly trained cane Corso that is a great family dog, and I've heard good things about them in general when they are trained. So, as someone that has actually dog sat for a puppy cane Corso that was around 60 pounds, I can say that is the strongest dog I have ever walked. I have walked many pit bulls. I have walked many other very large canines. The dogs that people, German shepherds, all of them I've walked. And a puppy cane Corso was so hard to deal with. The dog was like whipping around corners. It was not trained at all by its owner to not pull. And at the time, honestly, I was worried about my arm getting hurt or pulled out of place, because I was using two hands to walk this dog at all times, and I was still worried about my arm just like breaking. From the dog, like seeing a squirrel or seeing something he's interested in and, moving us towards that. So very scary. And even just like a dog coming near me, like would make this dog just kind of like fly towards it. When I first saw the dog, it kind of like, again, it wasn't trained, so it did jump on me, and the owner was not around, and so like it was just like a nice, like, you know, if a smaller dog did it, it wouldn't have been a big deal, but it almost knocked me down. And this was all when the dog was calm. Like, this is just a calm 60-pound all muscle puppy. Okay. I have also been bit by a Shiba Inu. I don't know if you know what that is. That's like the meme dog that everyone has around. And I have a nasty scar from that biting my leg, and it was a much, much smaller dog. So I cannot imagine what Christina had gone through. There are 3 parts in this video, and she does show the bite on her arm at one point. It will kind of throughout the video, it is in the frame, but it's further away, so it doesn't really, it's not the big focus of the video. But at one point she does kind of show it close up, so if you're not into that, then you could probably skip that part, or maybe just listen to it versus seeing the actual video. The second and third video, she doesn't really show her arm at all, so you can always just look when it's around those parts. She does also mention some emotional trauma that she has from it, including her husband having a panic attack because of it. So just a trigger warning, like, if that is something that affects you and you are not interested in it, feel free just to click off the video. No hard feelings. I will see you in tomorrow's video, and I will check in with you all at the end. So see you soon.
Okay. Yesterday was not a good day. I cried most the entire day, and so I will probably cry. It's going to be a little long because I'm going to try to get through like everything and answer questions that have been asked. I will show a video of what happened and explain. At no point in time am I going to show my clients. I'm not going to tell you their names. The video will be cropped to not show anyone. It won't be the full video that I have. It is traumatic to listen to. But what I actually want you to take away is, if this ever happens to you, what I did in the moment, I don't know how it came to me and what I knew, but it saved my life. 37 seconds. My life could have been much different, and I could have died easily. So I'm going to show you the little clip. So I've been replaying the day in my head leading up to it at the session. I did not know it would be King Corso's until midway during the session when they were going to bring the dogs out. She gave them anti-anxiety meds, told me in a message, and I replied with, as long as they don't bite me. I don't know. I have photographed in 14 years, hundreds of dogs. I don't know if I've ever said that to a client. So at the session, again, she said he doesn't bite, and I laughed and said, yeah, I just had this feeling. This is before I even seen the dogs. And then the first one came out, and he was really fine. He was older, and I saw him like wagging his tail, so I didn't have a problem. And when she went to go get the other dog, I asked the son, hey, how is he around strangers? And he said, I don't know, because I don't think he's ever been around a stranger. He might have, I really have no clue. But watching the video back, I don't know what happened. You could see that I didn't provoke him at all. He just bolted. When she was trying to get him, she couldn't get him. So the part that saved my life is I knew to stay close to them. I knew I couldn't run. If I ran, I would have died. The cane Corso pressure is 700 compared to a pit bull's of 200, to put in perspective. And I kept turning. Thank God there was like a telephone pole in their yard, and I kept turning my body like towards her around the pole so that I had something to work with, and I kept maneuvering my body. And I kept moving. I stayed up so calm. She was yelling and screaming in the background. You could hardly hear me in the video. The first time he bit me, it was my back, and it did not puncture. And you can hear me say in the video, he bit me. And then the second time he bit me was my arm. And I thank God that I was maneuvering around and moving, because as you can tell, this is my lovely scar and my hole in the back right there, that if he did not puncture, he did not like go in, and it was like a rip and then a puncture. So he didn't grab a hold, because I knew that if he grabbed a hold of me, I wouldn't have an arm, and I would probably be dead. They were not strong enough to get him off of me. Because I was moving, he couldn't latch on. He went after me twice more. At that time, I did hold my camera out. And I did, for a split millisecond, debated over what was more valuable, my camera, because I knew it would probably get bit, or my life. Obviously picked my life. So then the son let go, or she was calling the son over, and in the video, I didn't know this until after I watched the video, because I was so into the dog that was lunging at me, that he let go of the other cane Corso, and I thank God that that dog did not have a herd mentality and went after me. He was very close to me, and I didn't have that feeling towards him, but that doesn't mean, because like with my dogs, if one of them barks and like runs at something, the other two are gone. They're barking. They have no clue what they're barking and running for, but they're there. So I'm just glad like he didn't try to come after me too, because I wouldn't be here. The clip from start to finish, I have the full clip, but the clip from start to finish is 37 seconds. So 37 seconds from me. Those are my pics. From the start to the time I think I got into the car, or got the plan to get into the car, that's all it took. Like, that I could have been dead. I think my pics are fighting. So I have no clue what's going to happen to the dog. New York state law has a 1-bite forgiveness, so I don't think the dog will be put down. The rabies shots are up to date as far as I know, because I did not have to get rabies shots. I'm going to have a nasty scar, and I am in more emotional pain than I am in regular pain right now. My next thing is, I have always trusted everyone. All of my clients, I trust you. I trust you that you're going to bring me or not put me in situations that would cause me harm. Just like I would not put you in situations that cause you harm. And that's a trust that I I had. Whoever have been photographed by me, I had no problem being next to your dog, or I would even get it to sit for you. I have picked them up. Again, because there has always been that like trust, even though I know dogs can turn, there's just always been that trust of like, again, you won't put me in harm's way, and your dog is not mean. So I do have anxiety really bad. My chest already gets tight when I see another dog, which sucks. I will probably get a tattoo that says 37 seconds because that's what's stuck in my mind. And I am so thankful for being alive. And I did not think I would cry this entire time, so I am sorry. I really don't have any sarcasm at this point. I just want you to know that, like, if a photographer says no about they won't photograph dogs, just be okay with it and don't say shit about them, because something might have happened and they are protecting themselves. And don't run and maneuver your body. If I was frozen, I would have been dead. All right, so while I pack for vacation that I leave on Sunday for Europe, so if you want to follow along for that, I will be doing a lot of videos because with my PTSD, I am afraid I'm going to forget my vacation. As you can tell, I have not been really sleeping. The bags underneath my eyes are so bad. Anyways, no one cares. So to answer your questions, this is it. This is final. I'm not talking about this subject again. I have to move on. That's how I process and cope, and I move on and push through. Before I do that, every one of you saw the PTSD coming way before I saw it. Based on your own traumas, I hope my video helped you validate your own trauma and what you went through, especially if no one else believed you. So I see a lot of the stories, I read all my messages, but to answer the questions, one is they were on leashes. The dogs were never off leashes, minus the time that the kid let it go to pull the dog off of me. So she weighs like 100 pounds. She weighs less than her dog. She, at no point did she have the strength. I rewatched the clip in slow-mo, and before the dog went, something happened. I don't know what, but she knew it was going to happen. She tapped it on the side, I think just kind of like a tap to either a good boy or a look over here. But she tapped, and I think at that point he knew that both her hands were not on the leash, and therefore he had that moment to lunge. I did send the video to a canine training specialist to see if there was anything I did wrong, anything that I could have done differently. He said I was effed from the beginning. So there's something I could have done differently. I know everyone wants to see the clip. The thing is like, you can't see me in the clip. You can only see what happened before the dog got to me. You could hear everything. In the original video, you would have been able to understand that. So I didn't explain anything. So I know you guys were all wanting to see the maneuvers and moving around, and basically, like, all you have to do is just keep moving in circles. you know, if he's coming, you're going to move. But think about it like the Matrix. So if he's lunging, you know, you're going to just keep moving your body away and just keep moving. Everyone wants to freeze in the moment, and it gives them direct contact to lunge and hold on. But you have to just keep moving. A lot of people are asking what she's doing. Or saying. The incident happened at 2:30 in the afternoon. I asked if for shots. She replied yes. I tried to give her an update, letting her know that animal control was going to probably be contacting her, and the messages wouldn't send through. And I continued, and I was like, okay. So then I finally did get through, and it was a more or less like I went to the ER instead of Well Now, because Well Now would not accept me. And then she did not contact me until 9:30 that night to check in to see how I was. Later, it was, I'm so sorry. So at 12:30 the next day, she checked in, letting me know that she was still in shock. And her kids were in shock as well. And again, I think, I'm so sorry. Is there anything I could do for you? And that was after seeing like my stitches and everything like that, because I sent them to her in a video. And then the third time she contacted me was to ask me to remove the video. So she has, and now I can't contact her back. So that's kind of where we're at. I did send to her proofs. So she can at any time give me the selections that she wants, and I will edit them for her. Again, contracts and whatnot and business, and that's what I do. At any time, someone can pull their model release from me, and therefore I cannot share anything on the internet. And that's about it. So I think I answered a lot of the questions. I know you guys are so mad about the clip and not being able to see it. And it is just, I can get sued if I put something up there that I'm not supposed to. And I haven't had the time to talk to a photography lawyer. And I just don't care to right now, because I have my own stuff going on with my business. I'm still working and trying to get everything done before I leave for vacation. So hopefully that helped. I really have no clue what I said in the very first video, and I don't want to ever go watch it again. Today I edited the photos for her. She picked them out, and I thought I would be okay. Mentally, I think I was, but physically, it hit me. It's crazy what your body can do. I ended up sweating really bad, but the worst part was after I ended up throwing up. I'm sitting here waiting for my clients to show up, and I just realized I actually am broke out in hives or rashes. So this is crazy. And to make matters worse, my husband's in the emergency room right now because he couldn't get his panic attack under control. Because I think that was a compassion panic attack with everything that I'm going through. Anyways, he's fine now. He's fine. We're good.
Wow. Such an emotional story. I felt so bad when I first saw it. I almost started tearing up during the first video. It was just so sad, and I really, really felt it. I really felt empathetic, just due to my personal experiences working with dogs, being a dog sitter, at one point walking them, stuff like that. While she was doing photography, it's still a line of work with animals, specifically dogs. So as someone that really loves dogs, I really do love them, it's so sad when someone doesn't properly train their dogs and it results in an injury, or in this case, that dog breed is known for being protective, kind of like a Chihuahua, kind of like a pit bull. They are protective, very loving dogs, and they really just love their owners. And even in the video, like, she was saying she had a weird feeling towards the dog, and your instincts are rarely wrong, and sadly that was the case here. And I'm not sharing the story to give a large dog breed a bad name. I feel like there's already so much of that out there, but more so kind of highlighting the lack of training of any dogs, especially when putting them in a stressful situation. Like, that dog was getting its picture taken, and it was around a stranger for the first time, and I think she said at one point that the dog was around 4 years old. So 4 full years of only being around its family in a strange situation suddenly, and I'm sure there were lights there because it's a photo, and just a whole bunch of other things. I mean, in the video she also says, like, the owner was gonna get the other cane Corsos. There's multiple cane Corsos supposed to be within the photo shoot, but I guess they were doing one at a time at first, and the first one is the one that attacked her. So I mean, while the dog's in a stressful situation, the owner was out of the room for a little bit of it, and the other cane Corsos weren't there, so it was alone. So it was just like a lot of things that were new in the situation. But sadly, I have to say, like, I have learned the hard way to just never trust owners. A lot of times I felt like that they would, like, disregard the patterns of their dogs, or, oh, it couldn't be my dog, like, my dog is so good, and I just take it at face value, because at the end of the day, like, I have to make my own assessments, and the behavior that the dog has with me is the only behavior I can judge it by. I also will say the owner of the cane Corso that attacked her did say, like, she would pay for her medical bills, or she was, like, offering to. But with the trauma that she's talking about, like, she's gonna need a lot of therapy, and she also does this for a living. So, like, is it gonna affect her livelihood? Is she now gonna decline larger breeds and just remove them from going to her? Which is also, you know, like, that sucks, because there are some very well-trained large breeds out there, including pit bulls, including cane Corsos, and so, like, now they're affected by this, right? So but it also affected her husband too. Like, at the end of the video she does say, like, her husband ended up going to seek treatment because he had a panic attack, and it was due to her situation and him just feeling it all, it's so heavy on him, and he had a panic attack. So it's just really, really, really sad to see this. What would you do in this situation? I mean, are you someone that would just, like, stop doing photography? Like, I don't know, there's just so many things to it. Like, I honestly don't even know what I would do. So, like, what would you do in this situation? How do you feel about everything that happened? And honestly, like, whatever your opinion is, just, like, drop it in the chat. And I just want to thank all of you guys for getting this far into the video. It really just, like, helps grow my channel. Anytime you watch a video, like it, subscribe, comment, anything like that, like, I just appreciate you guys getting to this point. So, like, thank you so much. But let me know your thoughts on the video, and can't wait to see you next time.